So we're going to have Group C to announce their distributions tomorrow. And in Group C, I'm going to just go through those real quick on the Webull chart, and we will see where they're standing currently. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So Group C will be announcing their distributions tomorrow, Wednesday, April the 30th. I just wanted to go through the Webull chart and just see if there's any resistance and support lines in the ones that are listed in Group C, just for the ones who may have those ETFs. Okay, so we'll just start right off at the top, and I've already got them plugged in over here on the side, and this is all from Group C. So as you can see here, I've already drawn in the support line, and that support line being pretty much right there at that $10.13. And we have a resistance line here where it touched here at that roughly $12.88. We're currently at $12.33. We are trending upward, and there's some good momentum here. We are crossed up on the MACD, and the RSI is at 54, and that's the RSI 14. So this one here, we might get it to play up to about $12.88. And then the question will be, can we break through that, or are we going to stay within this zone here? And especially with the distributions coming out, that will affect that price as well. Overall, it looks like it's made a 36, a 48, a 40. So overall, looks like maybe an average of about 40 cents for the distribution on ABNY. AMDY, I've got a support line at roughly that $5.83. I've got a resistance line here at around $7.43. Current price is $7.02, and just like ABNY, we are heading up. We do have momentum here creeping up. The RSI 14 is at 47, so it's actually low on the RSI. And we still have green volume here with the up momentum, so we might see this RSI keep moving up some. But we'll see if we can get up to that 743 and hopefully break that, because if not, then we're going to be moving right back into this little trading zone right in here. The average distributions for AMD here, we've got a 27, 25, and a 38. So roughly around that 28 cent for the distribution on AMDY. CONY, again, we are staying within this little trading zone here with a support line at 611 and a resistance at 905. And we are currently at $8.23. We need CONY to get back up and break above that $9.05 to get back up in this area so that we can get some positive movement on CONY. We do have a movement up on the momentum, but it is slightly coming down on the momentum of the stock here, and we are still crossed up on the MACD, and the RSI 14's at 54. Average distributions 43, 59, and $1.04. So I would say that the average is probably around about 60 cents for CONY, and I would probably expect something close to about this distribution right here, maybe about 50 some cent. So that would be an increase from last distribution, but we'll see. CVNY, I've got a support line at 33.32, and I've got a resistance line here at $40.29. As you can see, that one has bumped this line quite a few times. After hours, we are above it, but we'll see what tomorrow actually brings. It would be a good sign if we can get above that $40.41 here and get on up here. We do have green on a momentum. We are crossed up on the MACD, and the RSI 14 is at 59. So overall, this one's looking like we might can break through this. The question is, will it stay up above it or come back right back into this trading zone here? And that's CVNY. The average distributions, 296 and 391. I would probably expect to see something probably higher than the 296. So you might see it around about, my guess, of $3.40. And that is just a shot in the dark. FIAT. So FIAT, it's got a little wider zone here. We're working between 683 and about 970 here. That's a pretty wide zone. We do have a downward trend here. The MACD is pointed down and crossed down. The RSI 14 being at 34, and the RSI 14 is under 30, then that would be oversold. So hopefully it's going to be seeing a bit of a bottom here, and that would make sense because we do have that support line right here at about that 683. So it could come down and hopefully get supported at that 683, and we'll see, can it bounce off of that and then move back up for the FIAT. MSFO. Right now we are bumping the top of that resistance line up here at that 1625. It closed at 1621, and we have a resistance at $14.80. We need this one to break above that 1625 so that hopefully we can get back on up here. Now, as you can see, it would be great if we can get it back up to about $18.72 there, but let's just work with the first issue at hand, and that's breaking this resistance line here. Average distribution for MSFO is 33 and 28, so we're going to say roughly about 30 cents for the distribution there, and my guess here would be around that 30-cent marker for the distribution. NFLY. So here is the support line at NFLY at 1534, and I've got a resistance at about 1917, and I'm pulling that from over here where it tapped it right here, and it was tapping it right here as well. So if we can get up above that $19.17, we might can get a nice little pop up with NFLY, which would be a good thing. It does have a nice upward trend here. The momentum here is somewhat dying down. It is decreasing a little bit here. You got 27, then it's a 28, so it went up, but then today it went down to 27. So just a slight decrease, but still green. And the RSI 14 being at 68. 70 and above means it's overbought, and that again would make sense because we are going to be getting close to that resistance line, and if it gets there and there's not enough buyers for the underlying, then NFLY could suffer as well, right, and come back down into this trading zone. But if we can get a little bust through on that 1917, we might can see NFLY moving on up and hopefully use that previous resistance as a support line. I'd like to see a lot of these get out of this little zone area and move on up. And last is PYPY. I've got a trading zone here that it's sitting in with a resistance line at $13.50 and a support line at $11. So right now we are about to pop through that resistance line. We are increasing in momentum. That's a good sign. We are crossed up on the MACD. That's a good sign. And the RSI 14 is only at 54. So it's definitely not getting to the point of being overbought. So this one here looks like it might have a little bit of steam still in it that we can break through that $13.15 and then hopefully get up here and see what we can do about this next resistance point right here at 1362 and then at 1431. But at least I'm seeing a little bit more of positive signs on this one. So anyway, so that's the ETFs that are shown in Group C. And we basically went through those. I gave you some supports and some resistances to look at and to watch, that if we can break through those and we can get a candle living up above those resistance lines, then hopefully we can then use that previous resistance line as a support line. And that would be what we would be looking for on those. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button and the like button. It'd be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.